guys, thanks for joining me and welcome to my channel. This is your reading for Pick a Card, Soulmate Secrets Part 2 or Part 2. We're taking a look at your karmic significance on this channel with your soulmate. If you haven't seen the first video for this, go to the main channel. I'll provide the link down below, and you can do that to choose the first cards, because I'm going to go through them in a moment very quickly without getting into it. So if you want to find out kind of what the secret is, go to the first channel in the description and at the end of the video. But if you're ready for a deeper dive into the karma or the karmic significance of that secret, then this is the video for you. Make sure to like and comment. My channels are older, so they interact with the algorithm differently. So your comments are very, very important for growth. So please do that. Also, one little thing, I forgot to actually add a oracle card into the video that I just made for you guys for the other channel. So I'm going to add a little card here for each of these, and then we are going to add them all up. Okay, so it's just a little extra oracle card. So in this reading, we're going to take a look at 4 piles with the Liberty Tarot, the Journey of Love Oracle cards, which I think are my #1 Oracle cards to go to. I do have them linked in my shop on Amazon. And then this is the Sacred Oracle, something Sacred Intuitive, also at my shop. I forget the name. This is #1, this is #2, this is #3, this is #4. I'm not going to use this in the time cap, but to link it to the last video, just so you're clear, the #1 keyword, the Angel Oracle card, is acceptance. Acceptance. #2 is Sisterhood, Brotherhood. Okay, Brotherhood, fraternity, right? Being together with someone in a platonic sense, and friendship. And then we have #3 was compassion. Okay. So #3, and you can kind of figure out which one's right for you. And #4, really, you got 2 that came out. Sorry, okay, so we have freedom and authenticity. So those are you got 2 keywords for #4. Okay, so I'm gonna put these over top for now, and you guys try to get settled in and figure out which pile is right for you. If you chose a different pile in the first reading and want to try something else, that's okay, but they are meant to go together. So this is going to be speaking to the messages from the first video, excuse me, and then this is going to be speaking, all of them are going to be speaking to the messages in the first video, and I'll be going through the original cards very briefly just to tell you what they were. Okay, so go back to the main channel if you have not seen that video. If you have seen that video, welcome. I hope you enjoy this reading. Okay, so let's take a look at #1. So #1's, hey girl, hey. That's so funny. Okay, so let me just summarize what cards you have first, and then we'll break it down. So you had the King of Cups, remember? I'll kind of maybe put them like this. And then we had the 6 of Coins, okay? And then we had the 5 of Swords, all right? And then we had the 2 of Coins. Okay, so those are the cards. And then we have the Meditation Oracle card, okay? And then we have You Are the Universe. Okay, so that's just a reminder of the last reading. I'm going to put this oracle card at the end. This is going to be our key oracle card, okay? So our key word was acceptance. Again, they'll fit over here, so let's do that. And then let's take a look at the tarot cards first. I picked 4 of each deck of cards. So let's take a look at your tarot first. So this is the Liberty Tarot. We have the 5 of Swords. So 5 of Swords came through twice. So there's been definitely a karmic misunderstanding between you and your soulmate at some point in time. There's really some type of issue that came up in a past life that was too hard to resolve. And you know, before there was technology, before we had all the modern things that we do now, including mail, it was very hard to maybe keep track of other people. So if there was a misunderstanding, you really risked the chance of never seeing that person again. So I feel like maybe it was to do with the level of there was some kind of disagreement or misunderstanding in which there was no easy way to clarify and improve it. I feel as though that person in some way carries with themselves, and I'm speaking to that first reading now, a very deep sense of regret, or they know in some way that their karma has to do with they made a mistake. And so in some way, and in a past life, right? They made a mistake in a past life, and there's like a heavy guilt that they carry with it, and there's a lack of confidence. So somebody may have failed really badly at something in a past life, your partner, the soulmate, and they may have failed very badly, or they may have in some way things didn't work out, and they really internalize that, and that's why it's rippling out into this present time. Number 2, you got the Tower. Okay, so the Tower, something huge happened, right? This is, I would say, in terms of how it's hard to gauge with past lives how far away the event happened and how much healing has happened, but judging from these cards in respect to these cards are speaking more about the past lives. And so these cards in some way are telling me that there's been quite a bit, many lifetimes that have happened, and a lot of healing has happened. So now we're ending up with like the 5 of Swords, 2 of Pentacles, pretty easy stuff. And remember, I was telling you this person has a lot of anxiety. So now we know why this person has a lot of anxiety. There was some significant stuff that happened. Remember, this King of Cups, I described him as old, remember? So there's this kind of old energy. And I don't mean old as in chronological age. Someone has been through a lot, seen a lot. There's been a lot of upset. There's been a lot of difficult things that they have had to live through to make sense of it all. So this karmic significance is that something really went wrong. A tower can mean that someone in a past life literally died because of this situation. So that's where the trauma gets the most intense, is if an accident happened, or if something happened that ended a person's life, or someone didn't get a chance to see someone before they die, those kinds of things. Here is the next message. So we have the Leo card, Lust, right, in this deck. This is the Strength card in other decks. This is like the Thoth deck. I really like this deck. It's really, really beautiful. It's like a soft version, sorry. Maybe that's a sign. There was some kind of very intense situation. This could have been a crime of passion, actually, because the Lust card with the Tower card and the 5 of Swords, there was an attempt to do something, and then there was a massive reaction. Something really bad happened, and this soulmate of yours that's keeping a secret in some way needs to come to terms energetically with that. They're nervous with it. They're nervous with the situation. They're crawling the walls. They're excuse me, they're afraid. And they don't really know why, because it has to do with the past life. So unless they are working through past life energy, unless they're getting meditations, or unless they are hypnotized or whatever, they in some way may not know where that anxiety or nervousness is coming from, right? Here is the next message. We have the Hierophant. So this may have been a situation involving the church. Remember, we're talking about the past life significance of this. This may be a situation involving the church where something got taken out of the hands of people, and some higher authority came in and stipulated that this is the way things have to happen. This is the way things have to be. I think that the power was taken away from the people who were involved in this in a past life. So there's a sense of powerlessness that you may be feeling as well regarding the situation. So it's like, and when power has been taken away from a person in a past life, what ends up happening is that you energetically experience circumstances in which your power has been taken away. So if you have a cyclical pattern in your life of having power taken away from you. That's such a tongue twister. That may have to do with that initial karmic trauma. That's the word for it, karmic trauma, in order to as you are working away and healing from it, right? Because there's a continuum from past lives to present lives. Okay, so let's take a look a little bit deeper, and we have the legacy of light. And so I think somebody's intentions were really good in a situation. I think that there was a very deep bond between you and this person before, but this is so jarring, right? The Tower card, it just, something happened that ripped two people completely apart. And then I feel like the church came in, or some kind of dogmatic energy came in and said, it could be not a church, but another religion, but a religious dogmatic energy, or maybe some kind of like a ruler came in and said, this is the way it has to be, the passion. I'm going to set the precedent for this. And so people became helpless, and that's why we're getting the word acceptance, I think, because people were sensing hopelessness. So there's a legacy of light. That love was there. It was just taken away from you and your partner. And that's why they're so nervous, because they want to not mess it up this time. It could be over 100 lifetimes that you've been working this out. The next message is riding the cosmic wave. I love this card. So I feel as though for every action, every swing of the pendulum, there's an equal and even swing back, right? So when something's extreme like the Tower, there's going to be an ecstasy that evolves out in the other direction. There's going to be a equal and measured reaction pushing the energy over in a positive direction. So I think that you're in this lifetime, or very close to it. You're very close to a synthesis / reconciliation on that fundamental karmic level, which means that you may have been in touch with this person in many lifetimes, but the negotiation of the Tower was always throwing the relationship off. So the relationship kept on failing or having significant trouble. And now in some way there's this equal swing of the pendulum towards something really beautiful. To me, this is like God taking you in a positive direction, sweeping you up, and the universe leading you to where you need to be. Here we go. We have the next card, and we have the cloak. So I feel like there's an element, karmic element here, to do with an imposition from a rule and order. And so I feel like you are being protected and you are being guided away from the imposition. So there's a couple things happening. I don't know what the event was that happened in the past life. And remember, we have converging karma, so maybe a couple people can share the same karmic imprint. So that's something to think about. So on the one. So what I'm saying is that could have happened for a couple people, like it could be the same event for multiple people, but there was some like a mistake was made, something huge happened, a love was swept away, and now it's coming back. And in some way, this imposition, it was almost like, if you think of like Pontius Pilate, or one of the rulers of Greece or Rome, they were very like, or Egypt, I want this now. And it's this very kind of like, I set the rules, you're an ant, you have to go by what I say. And so this is like being ushered away from the energy. So again, another thing that you could be experiencing in your life is that time and again there is a person or a situation or an institution that keeps like ramming their prerogative down your throat, and you have to deal with it. So in some way you're being ushered away from that energy. But if those are the patterns that you're seeing in your life, it's a confirmation that in some way that's what you're working through. And then we have the next message. We have intimacy. So this is, to me, not intimate. Well, it's an intimate. Okay, hold on. I don't want to be blasphemous. So that the Hierophant is intimate in its positive association with God. Okay, but when you're talking about intimacy, like with to do with like some clerk or that is setting the rules and is imposing upon people who are losing their power, that's not intimacy. That's state power, right? It's authoritarianism. So I think what's going on is that the counterbalance to everything that's been going on is that you're being shielded, protected. The universe is now sweeping you into what it was supposed to be, where the mistake wasn't made. Your partner's keeping the secret because they're internalizing the mistake still. They're feeling bad about it. And let's take a look at your oracle card. And we have the sacred wisdom. So there's a sacred wisdom in this situation. There's a truth that supersedes everything that you've experienced. Excuse me, everything that you've had. There's a level of acceptance that you have to make peace with. That acceptance is nervousness from a past life, right? Acceptance of circumstances that you situations that you had to accept in a previous life, and rebuilding. Remember the Two of Pentacles. That's really important. So starting from the basic building blocks, you are the universe for each other. And if it's not in this lifetime, I hope it's in this lifetime, but it is in some lifetime. That pendulum is swinging back, and it's swinging with force against all the mistakes and all the imposition of power that kept you separate, that kept you away from each other. And this is just saying there's a sacred wisdom in the universe. You can't mess with it. Like you can't break people apart and keep them apart. They're going to come back together. It is the people who are meant to be together are going to be together regardless, right? So yeah, it feels like a little bit of all those things. I tried to cover it as much as I could in the amount of time that we got. I love doing karmic readings, so if you are interested in that, let me know. So I don't know how to put this. I'll put this here so you guys can see the owl. Or maybe I should take it off. We'll see how, because I'm trying. Okay, yeah, I'll take it off. So thanks, number one. And now we're going to move on to number two. Hi, number two. Thank you for joining me and welcome to my channel. We're going to take a look at your cards from the other reading. Just so you know, the number one reading got very, very intense. As you can see, I'm like 17 minutes in. So it got very intense. If you're interested in this, reading, go to the description down below on the main channel, and it's going to tell you what secrets your soulmate has been keeping. So your first card was the Chariot, right? I'm going to just tell you the cards briefly now. Then you had the Devil card. That was at the end, I remember. And then we had the Ten of Rods. That was before the Devil. And then there was the Knight of Wands. So I think somebody was dealing with a little bit of running away / possibly fear of abandonment. And so they were really trying to confront that and have a better outcome. There was a predisposition to in some way draw very positive conclusions about people who hurt them in the past. And I think your role was really reminding them of going a positive direction. So I'm going to save this card from the Sacred Wisdom Oracle deck for the end to clarify a bit more. Your keyword from the Angel Oracle was sisters and brothers, sisterhood, brotherhood. So it's more like this reading was about being a good friend to your soulmate. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's definitely nothing to do with incest here, okay? So if it's a romantic relationship, you can still have a friendship-based relationship with your partner. That's the kind of like helping them through their insecurities, helping them through whatever it is they're working through. And if they're your soulmate, then that energy is very significant for both of you, right? You're healing each other. You're healing together. Okay, so let's take a look at your cards. This one should go on the bottom. The first deck is the Liberty. This is a tarot deck. So we have the what is it? Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. Okay. Someone didn't have enough power. So we're talking about past life and karma, right? Someone didn't have enough power in a situation, and they have continued to deal with powerlessness. They have internalized that powerlessness and even made light, like Stockholm Syndrome, which is narcissistic bonding, which means that the person who's hurting you, you become bonded to them because you have no other means of power, right? So people bond with the person who is inflicting pain on them, the person who's abandoning them or whatnot. And so there is this element of they have had multi-life karmic bonding with someone who had abandoned them. There's another soulmate involved. It's a karmic soulmate. I mean, everything's karmic, so I don't like that term karmic because it's misleading. There's a negative karmic, a very complicated negative karmic relationship that your soulmate is a part of. And in that situation, there is an involvement of a lot of repression, suppression, abuse, abandonment. It's the Knight of Wands, the Ten of Wands, and the Devil. Now, that doesn't mean that it's manifested in this lifetime. It's happened in past lifetimes and possibly manifested in this lifetime. But I think that they were so powerless in past lifetimes, and maybe this lifetime as well, that they started really sugarcoating the issue. And so they have a predisposition to, in some way, make light of the situation, say it's not so bad, it wasn't so bad, they're a nice person. And so they've kind of brainwashed themselves through lifetimes to accept certain things. And now in a different situation with you, they're wondering why these things are such a burden for them. So it's very complicated when it's your own psychology. So let's not judge people. But I think that they are giving it a good go here. This is the Chariot card. They're really trying to save it now. So the pendulum's swinging back, to a positive direction. Let's take a look at your next message. We have the Nine of Pentacles, which is Venus in Virgo. So I feel as though they were dealing with people who had a lot of money. So there is an element of, in past lives, there was a lot to do with financial power structures that were misaligned. Let's take a look. We have the Chariot again. So Cancer slash the time of July, when we have June to July, when we have Sun in Cancer, or when the Moon's in Cancer every month. There's something to do with timing to do with this, or maybe a Cancer person who's involved in this situation. Now, this Chariot card really can also represent that something will happen. Now, this is a timeless reading, but it can I am filming in 2019, and we do have an eclipse in Cancer in July, right? So maybe this is in terms of timing in July 2019, whether it's the future from now at time of filming, or if you're watching in the future and looking back, there could be some kind of, karmic significance, or there could be some kind of event that happens during that Cancer eclipse. There'll be a new moon eclipse in July. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles. This is a very dire Seven of Pentacles. These cards are a little bit spooky, but they're the Thoth. So it's like a simplification of the Thoth deck if you're interested. But back to the reading, in terms of the karmic significance, I think you're dealing with someone. They may not be troubled in this lifetime, but they have been troubled in past lives. And this is where all the nervousness is going on. It could also be that you find yourself to be struggling with these things. But we were asking in the first reading on the main channel, what was their secret? And their secret was there was something to do with leaving very fast, confronting situations, and kind of not sticking it out and feeling helpless in that. And so then we got deeper, and it looked like there was maybe a helplessness, and that turned around into this karmic interpretation that it said they may have even sugar coated past relationships to make sense of them. And usually that happens in a situation like narcissistic abuse or Stockholm syndrome. That's when people are being held captive against their will, and they form some kind of bond to the person who's holding them. So they need to come to terms with that at some point they were in a situation in which they were helpless, and then they formed an emotional attachment to the person who was capturing them because they couldn't help themselves. That's a very deep psychological trauma. And so if you're there to help them raise themselves out of that, expect that to be a complicated process that typically needs psychological help from a psychiatrist or a psychologist. Talk therapy sometimes works, but it's very complicated, right? And especially if because they have to come to terms with that relationship was in some way not suitable and was hurtful. And what psychologists can't tell you is the karmic significance. And when we're talking about karma, this is looking into the karmic psychology of past lives. So in all that, what happens is that they continue. Some patterns that I see evolving is power dynamics, and taking back your financial strength is a huge part of all this for both of you. So if you've been up against with people a lot of money who set the rules, you in some way, the pendulum swinging is like in some way beginning from the foundation and building up. So building up financially, being self-sufficient, saving money for yourself, those kinds of things, both you and your soulmate, to gain independence and to gain empowerment. And that's the real friendship of it all, that in some way you're meant to bring into your soulmate's life hope and light. Okay, so we're going to go deeper. This is a really neat reading. I wasn't expecting it to be so deep, but I'm okay with it. So here is your next message. We have heaven. Okay, so idealistic visions of a partner who may have not deserved it. And then there's a possibility of real heaven, which is taking a look at the reality and emancipating yourself from the fake that abandons you, the fake that leaves you behind. Number 2 is dream a little bit, which is like you too can have those riches and success and fame and all those things together. And it's, I think, a misplaced focus that is manifesting in this lifetime. And what I mean by misplaced focus is by structuring the belief that there is something that will hurt you. You're not appreciating the things you can do for yourself. And so I'm not into victim blaming at all. I'm really actually opposed to it. But I do think that the only person that can help you truly get out of a situation is yourself or your soulmate. So if we're talking about past lives, if you have this long pattern of being rolled over by people, then or abandoned, just like objectified, thrown around, objectified, then I feel like the action in this lifetime has to do with coming to terms with that and taking back your independence financially. Here is the next message. So dream a little bit. It's really possible. Whether it's you or them, there is this kind of, you are on the same page with regard to that. Dance of the planets. So I think that what it's saying is that in this lifetime, the planetary alignment is really strong. Remember, we were talking about the eclipse a lot, right? And so the planets are in 2019 and 2020 positioned in such a way in Cancer and Capricorn that a lot to do with karma is being rectified, a lot's being resolved and improved upon. And so I feel like the dance of the planets, is in your favor in order to address this issue. Your partner or your soulmate in some way has like a real issue with abandonment, whether they are abandoning people or whether they're being abandoned. And so that's what they're working through. But the alignment of the planets is very strong in order to improve that. The outcome is simplicity. You know what I think it is? I just think it's like, get the money, get the bag. And then the answer lies in your independence. So again, it seems like similar to number one, it seemed like a very significant issue in the past, in past lives, but now I feel like it's becoming much more simple. Like basically, it's much more workable in this lifetime in terms of, I think emotionally, you're better off than they are. I do frankly think that, and I mean in a trajectory of past lives and future lives, right? So you're much better off than they are. You've healed some wounds that are not even described here. So you're the lead. You're the chariot. You're the overcoming piece. But they have to be brave enough to face it. Now here, let's take a look at your next card is personal boundaries. So make sure that you're not giving them an opportunity to hurt you. You don't want to be around someone who has problems, who hurts you. You can only help people who are not hurting you. So if you're in a relationship with an alcoholic who dips out with alcohol, or if you're in a relationship with a drug addict, God forbid, don't be in relationships with drug addicts. It always ends up in a bad place. But if it's alcohol or if it's bad behaviors, you can only help that person if they're not lashing out against you. So that's the number one point of client care and social work and in psychology. If someone's hurting you, if they're doing something to you, you are enabling by participating in it. So you can only help a person in a relationship who's not hurting you, and you should not be, and especially with deep psychological triggers, you're not the one who's supposed to rectify it. An objective third party is. So get in a counselor and help this relationship if you want it to succeed. If there's no hurting going on, if there's just fear and patterns that you guys are working through, fine. Focus on money, move forward, be a good friend to them. Make sure that your boundaries are not being like in some way impeded upon, and let your light shine. Be the lead in this situation. It's beautiful. Really nice message. And help them see how the past, maybe one of the best ways of getting over people who have hurt us is not to villainize them. So when you see them as people with problems and whatnot, maybe if they've done horrible things to you, but still, like, once you can come to a place, you forgive them for you and not for them. Because if you look at someone who has been villainous to you, done something really horrible, and you hate them and all this, then you start feeling guilt and that for hating them, and then you start you have the predisposition to try to apologize or try to make right with what you've done. So it's much better approach to be like, they're people with problems, and really depersonalize that situation so you don't feel love or hate towards them in any way, and simply walk away. So I feel like this person is overcompensating, right? There's this like infusing love, like unnecessary love into situations. They may appreciate the past, their not past lives, but their earlier life. They may appreciate it, but I think that the idea is to not feel begrudging towards it or any type of way, and just simply move on without feeling so bothered, right? Okay, so number 2. These are long, my gosh. Okay, so thank you guys so much. This is number 2. Make sure to like and comment. My channels are older, so they don't get promoted in the same way as new channels, so just make sure to leave a comment. Okay, so hi, number 3. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to my channel. I'm excited to be here with you, and we're going to take a look at your cards from the first reading in the description. If you're just catching this for the first time, I did a separate video. Go back to the intro. I explained it all there. So I'm just going to show you the cards from the first reading that's in the description. The question was, what are your soulmate secrets? Your first card was the 7 of coins. That was actually the last card. And then we had the 2 of cups. I forgot this was mine. I was like, hey girl, hey. We have the 2 of cups, and then we have the 9 of cups. Okay, hey girl, hey. And then the first card that we had was the Emperor. Okay, so deep feelings, great passion, excitement and love, planning for the future. And then we had the Mystic, so somebody really liked their hippy dippy chick or dude. And then the Soul Song. It was all in the sound of their voice. So nice. Such a nice message. And then the message is compassion. So having compassion towards people, significance of strife and worry and yeah, very considerate energy of, you know, just gentle, soft, considerate, nice energy. So this is going to be saved for the end. This is the sacred oracle deck, and let's take a look at your cards. Okay. So I did do four. So we're going to do four tarot cards first. These are from the Liberty Tarot. So now we're talking about karma, whereas in your first reading in the description, we talked about your soulmate secret, which seemed to be that they had the hots for you and they didn't want to tell you about it because they didn't want to freak you out. But I think they thought you were everything. So hey girl, hey. But now we're going to take a look at the karmic significance of this relationship. Okay, so let's take a look. So your first card is, we have the Two of Rods. So again, vision. I think that this person has visions, and okay, so there's confusion in this situation because they're having all these like powerful visions about you and about this situation in some way. And I think that things are conflating. Like there's like a confusion about what they're actually seeing, if it's compassionate or if it's true love. And I think that they're holding back this secret because they don't know yet what to do with it. They don't really know yet like what it is. It's confusion. They're confused because they don't know, how do you say this? That they don't know if it's real. They're getting not mixed signals, but they're like, it's so powerful for them. They want to just confirm that it's right, you know? So it's not even about being shy so much. I think that they have this, it gets back into their past lives. So it's definitely a past life situation as well. Most things are past life. So we're just taking a look. We're going deeper. I have this looking glass here. Let me show you this little magnifying glass. So I have this thing and we're just looking a bit deeper into that past life, right? There we go. We're going in a little bit closer, trying to understand the situation a little bit more. And so yeah, so we have the Two of Rods. They're trying to figure out what it is still, what you are to them, who you are to them, and who they are to you. And I think that the significance of the feelings makes them want to be careful because they don't want to hurt themselves. They don't want to hurt you. Here is the next message. We have the Knight of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Secondary transits in air, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. There's someone who's interjecting through past lives, and this person has a very bad attitude. I don't know who this is. I don't know, but someone is taking shots at you and your love interest. There's someone getting involved, and this can be a man or a woman, but it feels like through past lives, this relationship has faltered because someone stuck their nose in where it didn't belong. Or, you know how people are petty and cruel sometimes? That's what it feels like, that there's someone who's been coming through in past lives being petty and cruel. Let's take a look at your message. We have the Five of Cups. There's a missharing secrets, misshared secrets. This person, like, it's like telling someone something to break up a relationship, right? To lie about something, or to even tell the truth about something in such a way so as to taint the situation. This is the karmic past life. So it happened time and again, time and again. I think this person is seeing that there is that level, and this is definitely healing. So this is your spirit with their spirit, the soulmate, the people who have you and your soulmate. Your spirit has been attacked by a third party through a past life, and that has reverberated in each life incarnation, right? And so there's been an interjection into this past life by a third party, and it's about healing that and getting the truth out. The people who are meant to be together, I mean, the signal is really, really strong. It's very rare that you get these kinds of cards lined up together. So the signal is super strong. There's such an urge and a desire and a compassion for each other, a compassion for each other's circumstances. That I think that there's this, it's kind of like someone who doesn't want other people to be happy. There's people out there like that. There's this thing called Schadenfreude, Schadenfreude, which is a type of pleasure that a person gets from hurting someone they don't like. And so it's kind of something like that, very narcissistic. Here is the next message. We have the Six of Cups, which is Sun in Scorpio. This is soulmate relationship. There may be another level to this karma, and to this past life in which someone was rejected. There may have been another, this may be another soulmate that was rejected in a past life, and now things soured and turned and they're lashing out. So they may even be an ex-boyfriend of yours or an ex-girlfriend of yours that in some way is very petty and very like wants to schadenfreude. They really want to in some way hurt back. And I don't understand necessarily why they want to hurt back, but in karmic readings oftentimes there's like parts that you just don't understand because it's very nuanced in its past life memories, but that's what it is. There's like a desire to hurt, to dislodge and that's why this person's keeping a secret, because they in some way, your soulmate is, because they in some way intrinsically know that, sense that, and I think that they're compassionate, and I think that they are in some way concerned that this is going, because if it's happened in many past lives, right, over and over again, and so if it's happened in many past lives and you're getting another chance at love now, what if this person, your soulmate, they remember that on some intrinsic level, right? Because the body remembers trauma and good things, survival instinct stuff. And so maybe that's why they're being hesitant to get that. Maybe that's why we have the Seven of Pentacles. They're trying to create a situation in which they will assure the best defense against this attack that's happened through past lives. And it's kind of like defamation. It's kind of like, trying to degrade someone, try to cause confusion and break someone up. But the Six of Cups is very significant. This can mean that there's a soulmate. This is Sun in Scorpio. There could be another soulmate. There could be actually 4 soulmates involved, where a scorned soulmate and this angel soulmate. So someone who's in some way trying to make right by the situation. This is the past life stuff. This person feels very, how do you say, they may have a very bad view of you as a person, and they may be motivated to act on that with hatred and jealousy, but more, it could even be like they think bad things about you, so they feel righteousness towards doing what they're doing. So they may think this person doesn't deserve them, so I have to get involved. And it could be, it is karmic, it is past life. So in a situation in the past, and I'm not saying you did this in this lifetime, it could be in some instances that your past life energy had done something that this person is lashing out for. But it could be more so than that. I feel like it's perceived, like this person has a bone to pick over a disappointment, about a lack of openness towards love. And I think that this is why the angel's coming in, because the angel's like, over my dead body you will. So there's this, it's kind of like this person is coming through to wreak vengeance. But I think that behind them is an angel, pretty powerful angel, that's coming in to some way stop the situation from unfolding the way it has in the past. It's a healing process, so it's like a layer. Each time it gets better and better and better. It's like a little improvements through each lifetime, yeah? Here is the next message. We have the devotion to the small. I think that this had to do with a situation in which one soulmate, possibly the person who's watching this video, not this person. So just to clarify, these soulmates I'm not talking about. I'm talking you and your soulmate who has all these feelings towards you, but they're keeping it a secret. But this is the person, you, who in some way has had, everybody has their morals set up a certain way, and you have in some way set a moral of taking care of the small, taking care of the weak and the infirm. And sometimes maybe this person was the infirm one. and you opened up to it, and they misunderstood things and then lashed out when you rebuffed or weren't interested. So maybe that's the problem sometimes when you put yourself into circumstances like this, because then those people who you help may, your karma conflates with them, and you take on some of the burdens that they're carrying. That's the real selflessness of helping others. And then we have the woman of flight. Okay, so this could be of light. Oh, so this could be a woman. This could be a woman. This could be a sister, actually. This could be a sister from a past life, not a current sister, but it could be your sister or cousin in this life if it's something close like that. And so, like a begrudging sister who wants to take away and spoil. Woman of light, someone doesn't believe that someone is as good as they are, which means you're a good person. Hey, girl, hey. So don't mind if I do. Yeah, because I always choose three. But I feel like there's this person is convinced that someone is bad. This person has a obsession to prove to themselves and the world their disappointment. So they're externalizing their, you know how we say we can't take on other people's stuff because that's their stuff? That's true, but a lot of times people act on their stuff, and you need to understand their stuff in order to be prepared for what they're throwing at you, right? So in some way, this is, you're a good person and someone's not buying it, or you're helping others and that stands against their who they are as a person. Then we have acceptance. This person needs to accept. This is a part of the healing, a healing that you can help. You can help through this lifetime and future lifetimes, in which you support this person in accepting the reality. You're not going to be with them. You're not a bad person, all of those things. But this person's hellbent, and so they have to accept their rejections, and because that karma splays out into their past life, which I don't want to get into because it'll be another half an hour video. But I feel like this, let me know in the comments below if you want to make this a tarot truth podcast, because I'll do it, because I think there's something there to delve into. And then we have the karma playlist on Vimeo. We can do that there as well. So let me know in the comments if you're interested. But just in short, I know that this person has their own karma. It's almost like two rivers merging, right? Or this one's crossing another river. Let's not say, this isn't merging. You got in the way. There's this person, and this person's kind of a rogue. They have some stuff going on, and they're a rogue, and they're a wild card, and they got in your way, and they have to come to terms with some things. That's their karma. Yeah, this is past life stuff. And then we have the burning hero. I told you, my goodness, right? You guys saw me shuffle, you saw everything. The angel, right? The angel that's following. And, ironically, this may be the person who you end up with. This may be actually the real soulmate. We all have multiple significant soulmates. We're all soulmates to each other, but we have significant soulmates that are resonant more. They're closer to us energetically. And so maybe this is the person, maybe they see all this happening and they're a catalyst for this. Or possibly this is the person who saves the day, saves the day. And also they're the burning hero. They're the one who is going to come in. Or they're an angel who is going to save the day in some life, maybe in this life, hopefully in this life, avenge the slander, and then allow you to transition to the relationship that you want. Here is the clarifying card from the sacred cards. We have angel assistance. Bang on, hey? So angel assistance. So an angel's coming in to save the day. Somebody's after you through many lives, and which I know is true in my life. And so and it's been coming up for me just so as a testimonial, 14 years in different circumstances. So it's definitely a pattern. Like people, if you have the sense that people have been out to get you, not like in a paranoid sense, but like people get, once in a while you run across someone who gets unreasonably obsessed with you and they do weird shit like follow you around and try to prove a point, then you know you're in the karma of this, right? And then this person is in some way just waiting to move forward with their love for you. And that's a beautiful energy. And I think that the primary card here is the Seven of Pentacles, right? So this person has to, they sense also, we're all sensing animals, right? So they're sensing that they have to invest in something to bring to, they sense that this has failed in past lives because of this person and what they say, the confusion they cause, whatever. And so I think that the Seven of Pentacles here is in some way, the Seven of Pentacles is some way this person's way of trying to manage the situation. So if I save enough money, if I buy a house, then maybe we can withstand it this time. They karmically understand it. But there's an angel who's helping the situation. This person needs to heal. So if you know who it is when you're dealing with them, know that they need acceptance. Know that they need acceptance of the issue. You can't tell them that. They'll think you're crazy, or they'll just try to guide in a non-verbal way towards that. And if don't confront this person, don't egg on this situation, just allow them to heal. And if it's not in this lifetime for them to heal, then it'll be in another lifetime. And if you guide the situation well, then that healing will happen much better. Okay. Ooh, good karmic readings. I'm really focused for the last couple days. It's been really on point. So here is your number 3. I hope that helped. So number 4, hi guys. Hi number 4, thank you for joining me and welcome to my channel. So we're going to take a look at your cards now. I'm going to do the reveal of the cards that we did in the first reading on the main channel, which is in the description down below. And if you want to know, if you haven't watched that video, I really suggest you watch it because it's talking about the cards I'm about to show you now, and I'm not going to explain those cards in detail here, so you have to watch that video to watch this one. Or if you just want to just jump in and watch this, that's fine. It's just, I think some of the stuff you'll be like, what is she talking about, if you haven't seen the other video. Okay, so here's your cards. Your first card was Strength, which is Leo, and then we had the Wheel of Fortune, good luck, Jupiter, right? And then we had, it wasn't like this, it was the Page of Wands. Oh yeah, this was a funny one. Not funny, haha, but like kind of saucy and interesting. The World card, okay? And then we had the 8 of Coins. And then that was modified by, okay? And that was modified by the Universal Heart, which is one of my favorite cards, such a pretty card. And the Soul Name, okay? And then we have this card for today. Will you look at that last, which is just an oracle card. I have extra room here, so I'll use it. And then we had 2 keywords, freedom, okay, and authenticity. I like that together. That's really pretty. The freedom to be authentic, right? And authentic enough to find freedom. So one or the other. We're going to take a look at 4 tarot cards, and then we're going to take a look at the oracle cards. This is a karmic reading, so a lot of what I'm going to be talking about is the past life stuff. So you're looking for patterns, and you're looking for patterns or seeing if there's some nuance of that in your life. It's not going to be explicitly the same, but it's going to be very healing to hear. So I'll show you guys in a moment. So for example, let's just kind of summarize the secret. The secret is that your soulmate wants to do something different. And I suspect that he or she has a preference that he's not sharing in a situation. And I think that they're worried about in some way jeopardizing the relationship that they have with you by spilling the beans of what their true desire is. So it's like maybe they have a kink, or maybe they have some other preference that they don't necessarily feel comfortable sharing, but it's a burning desire that they have, and they're kind of working through it, and they don't want to jeopardize your relationship. So that's in this life. In past life, we have the 7 of Swords. They keep running away with the secret. This is a deep desire that they have kept for a millennia, 1,000 years. They have not shared the secret at all. Yeah, freedom and authenticity. Isn't that neat? I like the number three cards really lined up the same way. Then we have the world again. So we have, oh no, the wheel of fortune and the world. Okay, the universe card. This person is prone to kind of remove themselves from a situation or run away and hide. Not necessarily to like leave a relationship, but just hide the true identity of what their desire is. So it's kind of in some way they're hiding what they truly want. Here is the next message. We have the 10 of Cups. Happiness, they prioritize. Okay, so your partner, this is less, the other ones are more dramatic. To me, this seems like a partner who, through past lives, has chosen family love and family connection ahead of their preference and desire. So they have chosen time and again to evade from what their true preference was, so as to keep a family relationship going in a certain way, to not jeopardize certain things in certain relationships, to make people happy. So they just sort of they went with this. They went with constantly trying to uphold the holistic side of the relationship, and never like they never, how do you say, they never made it a threat. They never threatened it. They never threatened it with their desire, which is they have a this is like a past life desire that they have in some way always evaded, and they really want it, and time again they don't confront it because they want the happy relationship. They want the thing that is the normal thing. We have the Prince of Cups. So this is someone truly offering something with a full heart. This is someone truly offering something with a full heart, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. There could be another person who comes into the relationship, and I think that and you're the person who has another partner. Or I love, not a partner, you have another person who's soliciting their attention towards you. They want an intimate relationship with you. And this person is jealous because this person expresses with more authenticity. They're kind of a dreamboat, so they express with more authenticity the things that this person suppresses. So this person is jealous of this person. I don't think we're talking about a situation that involves infidelity. I think we're involved in a situation, this situation involves a person who's coming to terms with speaking up about what they truly want. And if we're thinking about the karma of that, this person, by defining what they truly want, this person in some way needs to fulfill they're not fulfilling their dharma, even if it's weird, even if they have a weird fetish. They're not fulfilling their dharma by going along with the crowd. So in each lifetime, they experience different angles of pressure to get them to live authentically with their preferences. There's a reason for that, right? And it has to do with a past life. Here is the next message. So we have the pearl thread. So this is, to me, entanglement, right? This card always represents it. I think that this person is attached to something else. They have an attachment to another energy in which there is a different dynamic, such as like a very specialized romance dynamic that is very unique to that relationship, such as a special type of a relationship status, polyamorous, or something that's different from the norm, like something outside of regular choices. In I don't want to be I want to be egalitarian. I don't want to say that there's a normal and not, but you guys know what I mean. Like, this person in some way has an alternative lifestyle, which is not really alternative, but just like more unique. And so they are attached to it, and they in some way are coming to terms with that while still trying to have a normal relationship, a normal family. But in doing so, they're suppressing their dharma of what they truly want. So in life and life again, they're avoidant of the truth within themselves. And the things that they're living are good. They're a good person. They're an upstanding person in society. But what's coming through as a byproduct of that, the truth keeps coming in. That including probably you, the person watching, having other people hitting on you and wanting attention from you, like significant contenders, because this person is truly elsewhere. They've been inauthentic. They've been inauthentic towards themselves, and even though they work really hard to establish a good relationship, a good dynamic, there's solicitation of your heart elsewhere because they're taking your time, because they're not sharing with you who they truly are. Interesting. Here is the next message, the Ancient Ones. So it's like rest assured, because they're, I love this card. So this is like ancestors, right? So rest assured because there is energy watching. Spirit is watching all of this unfold. And as sympathetic as it is to the idea that there's goodwill, like this is a good person who's trying to lead a good life, there's a fundamental truth that's pulling you away from your main dharma, because you think you're with the person you're meant to be with, and they're not telling you something about themselves. Now, when they tell you that desire about themselves, and maybe you are the person, because everything else, it feels like a really good relationship. That's the thing. Like this person puts a lot of effort into a good relationship. They treat you well, but there's a piece missing, you know? It's like being in a relationship with someone who's in the closet. There's a piece missing in that. And no matter how kind they are to you, how good, you know, there's like a missing piece, right? It could be that too. Here is the next message. And it definitely was picking up on an intimate preference. And that can be across the board. At first I was like, I didn't want to really say, because the other reading's much faster. This is much deeper. So I didn't really want to say, oh, you know, they have a different sexual preference, but it could very well be that as well. Okay, knowing without knowing. Look at these cards. They're like, they're doing my work for me. They're just saying like the ancestors are guiding this situation regardless. There's a great sympathy for this person because they're a very good person. They have a very good heart, and they're trying really hard to do what's right, and they're conforming to some norm, to some standard that's not authentic with who they are. Look at them, the Virgo, the Eight of Cups, they're working, Pentacles, they're working so hard to establish for themselves something that they don't truly want, right? And they've done that through many past lives. So there's this, you love them, Ten of Cups, it's a long, good connection. But the knowing, you know, that you also know that, you know, there's a missing piece. Look at, he's even like peeking out over the card. You can see how, you know, like he's just keeping a secret. You can see it. And it's not like a horrible secret where somebody's evil. This is about authenticity and the freedom to be authentic. Your last card is Earth Angel. So I have a feeling, I'll say this, if you're watching this, you're probably going to have a significant offer from someone who you were always meant to be with. So someone who, this person inadvertently, I don't think they're a bad person. They're pulling you out of your trajectory, and the universe is steering you back to the person who through and through is meant to be with you. And I think they may have water and earth energy. Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. So like, or this person is meant to come in and teach you about this so you can pay attention to this and reconnect with that person. That could be it too. So it's like a lesson learned in a positive way. Again, not necessarily infidelity, but more like this person teaches you a lesson. You know, and that sounds so ominous because we often say that in an ominous way. But this person, it's a positive, like they send you a message. They open your eyes up. You're happy and you're complacent in what you have. And then they open your eyes up to the fact that your partner in some way is keeping a secret, and they're not being authentic, and they're working so hard for your relationship. but they're not working so hard for themselves. So if you feel like in this lifetime it's an opportunity to address that and give them what they want, stay in the relationship, I think that's the freedom and the authenticity that you support together. Lightning, oh, Isis. This is a powerful card. What this card represents is that there's a shock and awe ready to strike down in this situation to really clarify things. Really clarify the situation and really let you and this partner know what's going on. It's either that you will diverge and go in a different relationship with someone who you were supposed to be with all along because this person misguided you. It's a sad story. It's not like they're evil. It's just they're confused. Or you're helping them and you're going to reconnect with them because they really do truly have the universal heart for you. They truly do love you. It's just, it's like anybody, you know, they have a preference, you know, and that preference they're coming to terms with. So wherever you are with this, the universe is helping you. And it's about making that connection, helping them not run away from the truth. Have a nice day. And the lightning Isis represents a very fast epiphany, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and comment the video. I will talk with you soon. Take care. Bye.